Is Kamala Harris fit to lead the country? That's what I got a question for y'all about. Would y'all rather have senile Joe with crackhead Biden that's in the audience watching, big head crackhead Biden and Hunter Biden in the office, or would you rather have Cam? That's my question of the day for y'all. Would y'all rather have head over heels Biden, who had to get special orthopedic shoes to keep him from tripping up the stairs, or would y'all rather have Kamala Harris? That's your only two choices. Let's say hypothetically that Trump is robbed. Would you rather have Joe Biden or Kamala Harris as the president of the United States of America? Because I think that this is the play. When I start back and I start releasing episodes, I released the 2 pilot episodes last week of the Anton Daniels show on my other platform. And I start minding this out and I start having conversations with y'all, deep dives and conversations. I was really excited about that show. That show is doing really well. And I start having deep conversations with y'all about what is going on. I'm going to do a whole segment on how I think that the play, and I'm going to break it down for y'all on how the play is. Eventually, they've handpicked Kamala Harris to be president of the United States of America. This is my genuine sentiment. I believe that it fell flat on its face when they was trying to get Hillary Clinton into the White House. I believe that the play, shout out to Jay Hunter Lee, I'm going to read that super chat shortly. I believe that the play is to get Kamala Harris, former girlfriend of Montel Jordan, or I'm not Montel Jordan, Montel Williams, into the White House to become the first president of the United States of America. I honestly believe it in my heart. I think that that is the play. I don't think that they even running for Joe. I think they running for Cam. I think Cam is the one that they focusing on. It's all about Cam. It's not about Joe. I genuinely believe that they are trying to leverage Joe, and they know that Joe ain't even there, his faculties ain't there, to eventually get Cam to step into his position. They asked her if she's ready to be the president of the United States of America. This is what she said.
Many Democrats now in panic mode over President Biden's chances come November. Today, the first sitting Democratic member of Congress called on Biden to step aside, as others are calling the race for Donald Trump, including a Democrat who represents a rural district, one who flipped it from a Republican seat to a Democratic seat. That's Washington State Rep. Marie Gluesenkamp-Perez.
Truth, I think, is that Biden is going to lose to Trump. I know that's difficult, but I think the damage has been done by that debate.
I do too.
And what we are hearing from sources tonight makes clear that lines like this from the White House and top Democrats aren't cutting it.
It was a bad performance.
He had a bad night.
A bad night.
It was a bad night.
A bad night.
He had a really, really bad night.
Thursday night was a bad night.
Now, I should note, the White House is at least taking some of that advice that I mentioned earlier. President Biden is scheduled to do his first sit-down, in-depth interview this Friday. And it comes as a new CNN poll, though, might add to the pressure to do something unscripted sooner. The latest numbers show that most...
I don't like interviews unless they could actually be shown in their entirety. I don't like how they can cut it up. I don't like how they can edit it out. I like it live, just like how the debate was. When we seen it live and they couldn't put any more props under his orthopedic shoes, we was able to see exactly who he was for who he was, especially standing against somebody like a Trump, right? I like it live. I don't like that pre-scripted.
And his party believe the best chance for Democrats to win is with someone not named Joe Biden at the top of the ticket. There's even a noticeable shift in how big-name allies of the president's, like former House Speaker Nancy Pelosi and Congressman Jim Clyburn of South Carolina, how they're talking about this race tonight.
Let us not make a judgment about a presidency on one debate.
I think it's a legitimate question to say, is this an episode or is this a condition?
Stay the course. Chill out.
Chill out.
This party should not in any way do anything to work around Ms. Harris. We should do everything we can to bolster her, whether it's in second place.
I don't like boomers and Xers a lot of times. Not all of them. Most of them I don't like. They aggravate me. I don't understand why they're still in power. Every time I see Al Sharpton's big head, it aggravates me. Every time I look at Al Sharpton's big head, it really does. I think that Al Sharpton was the first person to get a hold of Ozempic. Every time I see his white hair, I'll be thinking to myself, how is Big Head Sharpton on here having a conversation telling us what we should do? Anybody that listen to this man, anybody that believes in an activist as the voice of the community, it pisses me off. These people are the true grifters of America. True grifters of America. It aggravates me. And I don't understand why we keep holding on to these people as thought leaders. When I see this guy, whoever this guy is right here talking, listen to him talk.
Chill out.
This party should not in any way do anything to work around Ms. Harris.
Sweating. All of the look at his shirt. He's sweating so hard. His head is sweating at the top above his left eyebrow. Our right, his left. He's speaking with his mouth open. He can't close. When you see old people to start to speak with their mouth open, put them out to pasture. He's dripping on his shirt. Look at his shirt. His right, our left. Look at his shirt. His right, our left. These people need to be going on long walks, playing bingo, and then getting buzzed back and forth to the casino to give their checks up so that we can continue to keep the economy stimulated. He is sweating. He is melting before us, right before us, melting. And these are the people that are determining the course of action and what it is that we should be doing and voting on. And they standing on business. Him, Big Head Sharpton. Y'all would go with a man like this? This is who y'all going with? This is who y'all rocking with? This is who y'all listen to? Stop, bro. Stop. Just stop it, man. Look at this guy, man. Look at this guy. This is y'all leader? This is who y'all listening to? My name is Al Sharpton. Get out of here, man. Get these people up out of here, bro.
We should do everything we can to bolster her, whether it's in second place or at the top of the ticket.
Of course, the Harris that Clyburn is referencing there would be the vice president, Kamala Harris. A vice president that I should note the White House press secretary could not even say today whether or not Biden has spoken to her since the debate last Thursday, 5 days ago. For her part, Harris had this to say tonight.
Look, Joe Biden is our nominee. We beat Trump once, and we're going to beat him again, period.
Are you ready to lead the country if necessary?
I am proud to be Joe Biden's running mate.
Tomorrow, President Biden will come face-to-face with some of his biggest surrogates in the nation, Democratic governors. Many of them have been out on the airwaves. Several of them, including my next guest here tonight, are being discussed, though, openly as potential replacements on the ticket if, and I should put the emphasis on if, it comes to that.
Forget all of that. I want to go over to Ben Carson real quick because I want to get his take. And he gave some insight on whether or not he thought that Kamala Harris could win on her own, but could win and eventually become the president of the United States of America. Take a look.
Former HUD Secretary Dr. Ben Carson joins.
I think that Ben Carson is a national treasure. Ben Carson does not get enough credit for how great he is, how phenomenal of a career he's had, and for his contributions and for his intellect when it comes to some of the things that he's accomplished in his life. If y'all really want to look for somebody or look into somebody as far as what we should look for as an older person and a leader that you can model your life after. We need to stop looking at rappers. We need to stop looking at Al Sharpton, who hasn't actually done anything except for promote himself. And we need to start looking at the Ben Carsons of the world. I think that Ben Carson, go and read Ben Carson's autobiography. I think that Ben Carson is probably one of the elite, and when I say elite, one of the greatest, most elite people that has ever walked the planet. And I love what his life has been, how he's came up, how he's evolved, what he's accomplished. If y'all don't know the story of Ben Carson, y'all genuinely need to go and look him up. If y'all don't know the story of Ben Carson, you genuinely need to. We need to be looking at and dissecting people like Ben Carson instead of listening to people like Umar Johnson. If you want to look to an older person for insight, go and study Ben Carson's life. For the majority of black people that don't even know who Ben Carson is, other than what it was that he was promoted for, and they don't actually understand how great he was or how great he is because he's still alive, they need to go and study him. We'll go and ride behind Al Sharpton, but we don't even know who Ben Carson is, bro.
Us now. Dr. Carson, thanks for being with us tonight. It would seem to me that, first of all, as we mentioned, by the promises made by the Democratic Party and the reasons that Kamala Harris found herself on the ticket, there's no way to sidestep her should Joe Biden sidestep the presidency. It would have to be Kamala Harris.
Well, there's no question, Will, that it will be difficult. But what we have
He's
to
one
recognize...
of the people that I actually, because I'm moving into a different direction of I'm interviewing the people that I think makes the most sense, that I think whose interviews will last a lifetime in their legacy. And so I've been retooling and re-preparing myself in a platform in a studio and stuff like that and upgrading microphones and stuff in order to prepare for future interviews. And I'm only going after the people that I want to talk to, that I can do an interview exclusively just for the bag chasers and then release a separate interview based off of popular culture to the general public. If I don't look at you and I say, man, I think that I could really learn something from this person or something that they can add value into the chasers, I'm not even going to do it. I don't want to just interview anybody no more. He is at the top of the totem pole as far as people that I would love to get an interview of in order to move the platform forward. But that's a whole nother conversation.
Is that it doesn't matter who it is, whether it's Kamala or one of the governors that was there or many of the other names that have been mentioned, they all believe the same things that Joe Biden believed. The difference is that they may have some degree of competence. But the thing that the American people are railing against are these policies. And if we have somebody who doesn't understand the importance of having a secure border, who doesn't understand our position of leadership on the world stage, who doesn't understand how to use our energy resources in an appropriate way to alleviate the financial burdens of the American people, who doesn't understand how to deal with crime, it's the same situation. We just don't have somebody who's mentally incompetent. And, this whole question of Joe Biden and the debate being an aberration, an aberration is something that doesn't occur on a normal basis. Mm-hmm. We see it happening all the time with Joe Biden, so It's not really an aberration with him.
That's exactly.
And it puts all of us at risk. You never know when something bad is going to happen, and there's a likelihood because of all the terrorists that are in our country.
I was going to say, that's exactly what Senator J.D. Vance is saying. He put out the following post on X. He said, Democrat Party elites and their media mouthpieces are now obsessed with replacing Biden on the ballot. But if he's unfit to run for president, he certainly isn't fit to be the president. If he doesn't run again, he needs to resign as commander-in-chief. How much, though, do we increase the competency, Dr. Carson, if we move to Kamala Harris? I mean, she's certainly at the top of her game. Joe Biden is not at the top of his game. But I wonder what the ceiling is with her, even at the top of her game when it comes to competency.
Well, the thing that worries me most about her is wherever she goes, her staff people leave. And she doesn't seem to be able to inspire people, and she seems to be somewhat mean. That's not what we need. Right now, our country is in dire need of someone who can help bring people together. Some of the things that you saw with President Trump recently and some of those rallies in New York and New Jersey, bringing people from all different backgrounds together. This is what we need, not someone who irritates and destroys relationships. So that's just as serious as the fact that she may not be particularly competent, as was demonstrated by the fact that she certainly did not do a good job as the czar for the border.
I feel like I was the only person that caught the fact that they had named her as a czar of the border czar. And I've been saying it literally for years now. I've been saying it for over a year and a half now that they named her the border czar, and I've been using her as the face of what we've been dealing with when it comes to the migrant crisis and the border crisis, and the fact that we have so many people, but they trying to get her away from that, because I think that the play is ultimately for her to become president of the United States of America. So I absolutely agree with Ben Carson. I think that he's an incredible mind, and he is definitely one of my grill. If I ever am able to get somebody on the platform, I would get is Ben Carson. He is one of the most phenomenal people that I've ever seen in my entire life. Anyways, neither here nor there. Let me read a couple of the super chats, and then